Hello everyone, welcome to the class. I hope we're all doing good and you're practicing problems in physics. In the last class we were talking about gravitational potential and we learned about gravitational potential due to a point mass, due to a ring, due to a disk. In today's class we'll be going ahead and we'll be checking for gravitational potential due to a solid sphere. In the last class we ended up the concept learning gravitational potential due to a hollow sphere. Today we will use the concept and we will try to define and try to find out the gravitational potential due to a solid sphere. So let us talk about gravitational potential due to a solid sphere. Now already we know the potential due to a point mass, and that is minus gm by r, where r is the distance from the mass. Now today we'll be using the concept of potential due to a point mass, then how we use that concept to get the potential due to a ring, and then we use the concept to find out potential due to a hollow sphere. Now we'll be using the concept of potential due to a hollow sphere and use it to find out the potential due to a complete solid sphere. Gravitational potential due to a solid sphere. And whenever I take any object, think that its object, the mass is uniformly distributed. Its mass you can take as capital M and you may take the radius as capital R. This is which has been provided the data for the given object, its mass and radius. And I believe that you are also practicing the derivations after the class also. Let's say how will a solid sphere look like? It will look like something like this. Although every time and when I'm going to complete the diagram it seems to be a bit bulged from one of its ends. But okay, you may take that it is symmetrically distributed mass system. Now see, imagine that this is a solid sphere. Now there are several points where we can find out the gravitational potential. First of all, we have got an external point. At any external point we will find the value of gravitational potential. Second, there at any inner point we can find the value of gravitational potential. Let's see how to do that. Now before going ahead, how will you imagine a solid sphere? The very basic example, Earth. Earth can be treated as a solid sphere, and then later on, after deriving this, we will use the concept of gravitational potential due to a solid sphere to understand the potential due to Earth. And then again, you can take a solid ball also, a rubber ball which is completely solid, and the mass is uniformly distributed in its entire volume. Suppose we want to find out the potential at some external point P. Let's just say at some external point P, we are interested to find out the value of potential. Now how to find out that? We know the value of potential due to a hollow sphere is minus gm by r, where r is the radius of that hollow sphere. So we'll use that same concept. What I'm going to do, let's say this is the center of the solid sphere. Can we imagine a hollow sphere whose radius is x and its width is given as dx. Let's say its radius is x and its width is given as dx. Now distance from the center of the solid sphere to the point P, it's given as small r. Let's say this distance is given as small r. This is what has been provided, and let's say we have been also given that its radius is capital R. This is what has been given. Now here at a distance x, we have taken a width dx hollow sphere. So let me show you the shaded portion, which is actually giving us the idea of the boundary of the hollow sphere. The shaded portion gives us the thickness of the hollow sphere, and here we have this as the width of this hollow sphere. Now let us say its mass is dm. Let me show that its mass is dm. Can we write mass of this hollow sphere in terms of total mass of this sphere? Because we know that total mass is uniformly distributed over its entire volume. If its mass is given as capital M, then mass of this hollow sphere which we have imagined, this will come out to be mass of elemental hollow sphere which we have assumed of radius x, that will come out to be, we have taken its mass to be dm. dm will be equal to total mass per unit volume multiplied by the volume, the thickness of this, the sheet of the hollow sphere, and we can easily say that its volume will be 4 pi x square multiplied by dx. So we'll be having dm as total mass upon total volume 4 by 3 pi capital R cube multiplied by 4 pi x square dx. This is the value of small mass of this elemental hollow sphere. This is what we are going to obtain. Now cancel out some terms which we can find here. You see 4 and pi will be cancelled out and this 3 will go up. So you will be left with dm is equal to 3mx square dx divided by r cube. This is what we will be left with. So just remember this value of dm which we are going to utilize. Now we know that the potential due to a hollow sphere at any distance r is given by minus gm by r if the point is external. You see here this point P is acting as an external point due to this hollow sphere. And the last class we have talked about potential due to hollow sphere at an external point was given as minus gm by r, where r was the distance from the center. So let me write down a small potential due to hollow sphere of mass dm. A small potential due to hollow sphere which we have imagined due to hollow sphere will come out to be, just now I told you the value of this potential, that will be dV is equal to minus G dm by r. Remember, always mention the potential with negative value, because we know that potential cannot be positive because we have taken the potential to be 0 at infinity, and as we take the point closer to the object, the potential goes on decreasing. Actually its magnitude is increasing, no doubt, but actually its value will decrease because its value is mentioned with a negative sign. So dV equals to minus G dm by r. Now see, to find out the potential at this point P, let us say this is an external point. So we will be varying this elemental hollow sphere, its radius, if it's varied, this hollow sphere will vary over the entire volume of the solid sphere. What I mean to say, if x is equal to 0, this hollow sphere is going to lie at the center, and if x equal to capital R, then this entire hollow sphere will be lying at the boundary of the solid sphere. So if I vary x from 0 to capital R, I will be covering the entire solid sphere. So let's vary it, see what we are going to get. You see here, for each of the sphere, small r is constant. As small sphere, as the elemental hollow sphere varies, we can see that r will remain constant. So to find out the potential at an external point will come out to be, so case 1, potential at an external point. That's quite simple, and we will reach to a very simple formula. Potential at an external point will come out to be V is equal to integral dV is equal to integration of minus G dm by r. Now you see here minus G dm by r, G by r is constant, so you have to integrate dm. So can we write in very simple words as minus G by r integration of dm, integrate it, G and r are constant. If you integrate the entire mass dm, you are going to get the total mass of the solid sphere, that is given as capital M. So the value of potential comes out to be minus Gm by small r. This is the value of potential which we are going to obtain. Hope that the first thing is pretty much clear to you all, that you can treat the entire sphere to be kept at the center, and directly you can evaluate the value of potential using the formula for point mass, because we know that this formula resembles to the formula of potential due to a point mass, and that was minus Gm by r. Here also you can treat the entire sphere, its entire mass to be kept at its center, and the potential you are going to get as minus Gm by r. So this is the first formula. Now the second one, what will be the potential if you are going to talk about an internal point? So what I'm going to do, talk about case 2, when we are going to take case 2, all of you mention here case 2 potential at an internal point. To find out this, now see, there is some changes that we have to do in our derivation. This was the formula for total potential. This was the potential due to the imagined elemental hollow sphere. Let's talk about when point P is present at an internal position. You see here, let me mark this another position at an internal point somewhere here. Let me mark this new point as point Q, where we are interested to find out the value of potential. This is the point where we are interested to find the value of potential. So, can I divide this entire solid sphere into two parts? One part, if I make a sphere of radius, now see what I am going to do. This was given as x, but before that, you see, if I divide the entire solid sphere in this part, in this way, I hope that you all can easily make out that this is another sphere and this is point Q. Now see, we are interested to find out the value of potential at this point Q. We can divide the entire solid sphere into two parts. One, this dotted, whose boundary is this dotted ring, it is shown by this dotted sphere, and the second, this entire leftover portion. This is what we can do. Now, can we find out the mass of this shaded sphere? You see here, just keep this formula as it is, and I am using, this is the mass of elemental hollow sphere of radius x. I will be using it later on. So, let me keep this formula separately. I will be using it later on. Now, mass of sphere whose radius is given as small r, because at a distance small r we are interested to find out the value of potential. So, now see, I am marking a new distance small r here. This r has been utilized. Mass of sphere of radius small r, of radius small r. This will come out to be, let me mark that as m dash, total mass upon total volume multiplied by, and let me rub this. I hope that you all can remember this formula, or what I will do, I will write dm separately. This was dm, I will use it separately. First, let me mark this here, m dash is equal to m upon 4 by 3 pi r cube multiplied by the volume of this inner sphere whose radius is given as small r. This is what we are going to obtain. You see, all these terms will be cancelled out. You will be obtaining m into small r cube divided by capital R cube. This is the value of m dash. Now, potential due to this inner sphere whose radius is small r, can we write that as V1? So, potential due to inner sphere which we have taken inside the solid sphere, potential due to inner sphere of radius small r. See what we are going to obtain. Of radius small r. This will come out to be V1, and this will act as a solid sphere whose external point you are required to find out the potential. You see here, you can treat this dotted sphere whose boundary I have shown you by this dotted line, as this point is working as a point on its surface, and this surface point can be treated as an external point. The formula which we are going to use is simply minus gm dash by this distance r. The potential will come out to be, I am writing down here, minus gm dash by small r. I hope that you all clearly can see till here. Now, let me write down, let me rub this part, and we will be solving the second case. We will be obtaining V is equal to minus g m dash. M dash is mr cube by r cube. Mr cube by r cube divided by small r. This is what we are going to obtain. You see here, this is V1, and let me also write this as V1 because this is one potential due to the inner sphere. So, V1 comes out to be minus gm r square by r cube. One thing we obtained, V1 is equal to minus gm r square by r cube. This is one potential. Now the second part, you see here, see this other portion of this solid sphere. What will be the potential contribution due to this other portion? Can we imagine a hollow sphere here? And then can we find out the potential due to this hollow sphere at this point Q? Then what we can do, we can integrate such small potential due to the entire this portion by varying the radius of this hollow sphere from small r to capital R. Then we will get the value of potential contribution due to the other part of the solid sphere. What I mean to say, you see here, potential due to elemental hollow sphere of radius x, because already we have taken its radius to be x, so I am not mentioning it separately, of radius x, and we know potential due to a hollow sphere at an internal point with nothing but it is given as minus g, its mass, divided by its radius. So this will be small potential dV, that is minus g dm upon its radius, that is x. Because you see at the diagram, you see here, its radius we have taken as x. I have rubbed x, but you have to remember its radius we are talking about as x. So minus g dm by x, dm value we have already evaluated in terms of x. This will come out to be, substitute the value of dm as 3mx square dx. This will be minus 3g, and this will be mx square dx upon r cube, and here we have x, so I am also substituting here x. Hope you are obtaining what I mean to say here. Minus 3gm, and dm value I have put as minus 3mx square dx by r cube, and here this x was there, so I have kept here x. Now see here, we got the value of potential in terms of x. 1x and 1x will be cancelled out, and you will be getting r cube in the denominator. Then finally we will be obtaining the net value of potential as, which I am marking as V2, is equal to integration of dV is equal to minus 3 gm upon r cube, and integrate x square dx. This is what we have to do, integrate x square dx, and the value of x should be variable. You see here, value of x should vary, and x should vary from small r to capital R. This is what we have to do. So substitute here, you will be obtaining minus 3 gm upon r cube, and here x square will come out to be x cube by 3. Substitute the value small r to capital R. You see we have got less space here. Let me write at the other portion. I want you all to note down till here. I will start from the other end. Okay, now one more thing. I know that you would have noticed that I told you 1x and 1x will be cancelled out, so we should be left with only x. So let me mark here x, and this will come out to be, just change one thing, it will be x square by 2. Now the final formula will come out to be minus 3 by 2 gm by r cube multiplied by, substitute the limits, r square minus r square. This is the value of the potential, and this potential is V2. So we got V1, the potential due to the inner part of the sphere, and V2, the potential due to the outer part of the sphere. Can we add both of them to get the final potential? So I am rubbing this portion. I believe that you all can see clearly till the other end. We got V2 due to the other part of the sphere as minus 3 by 2 gm by r cube, and this value can be added with V1 to get the final value of potential. So net potential due to the entire sphere at an internal point will be nothing but sum of V1 and V2. So V is equal to V1 plus V2. Substitute the value of V1 as minus gm r square by r cube, and here we have minus 3 by 2 gm by r cube. So minus 3 by 2 gm by r cube r square minus r square. Simple, so simple it is. Gm by r cube can be taken as constant and common, and both can be kept outside, will be obtaining. You see here, let me write down the final result here. Lot of derivation in physics. I know you would have been seeing that there are so many derivations, and I believe that you are all enjoying learning derivations because I'm trying to make it much simple. Gm by r cube, let's take it outside and common, so this will be minus gm by r cube, and we'll be left with, you see here, r square, small r square, and you'll be obtaining plus capital R square minus small r. You see here, you'll be having plus 3 by 2 capital R square. You'll be having plus 3 by 2 capital R square and plus 3 by, here you have minus, you'll be having, because minus sign we've taken common, minus 3 by 2 small r square, minus 3 by 2 small r square. This is what you'll be left with. Now finally what we can do, we can write in very simple words, 3 by 2, 2 can be taken outside, you see 3 by 2 r square, and here we'll be left with minus 3 by 2 r square plus 1 r square, you will be left with minus 1 by 2 r square. So in very simple words, this can be written as minus gm by 2 capital R cube, and here it will be 3 r square minus r square. This is what we are going to obtain, writing the final value of potential. This is the final value of potential, minus gm by 2 r cube 3 r square minus r square. You can easily check that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to encircle this so that you may remember the formula. This is the final value of potential due to the entire solid sphere at an internal point somewhere at a distance r from the center of the solid sphere. If r equals to 0, can we find out the value of potential at the center of the sphere? Then you see here, value of potential, or directly let me write potential at center of solid sphere. Potential at center of sphere. When I write sphere, think that I am talking about solid sphere. That will come out to be, just substitute the value of small r as 0. Substitute the value of small r as 0. We are going to obtain the value of potential at center. So substitute small r is equal to 0. The value of potential at center will be nothing but minus 3 by 2 gm by r. This is what we are going to obtain. Easily you can check out, you can keep the value of r as 0, this r square and r square will be cancelled out, you will be left with minus 3 by 2 gm by r. Now we got that potential at an internal position is varying as you go from the center of the sphere towards the surface of the sphere. Again you move from surface of sphere to another point outside the sphere, again it is going to vary. Let's write down, let's try to make a graph showing the variation of potential from the center of the sphere to an external point. See how it will vary. To understand the variation, let me write down each of the formula. Potential first outside, it was given as V equals to minus gm by r. Using the same formula, can we write down the potential on surface as V equals to minus gm by capital R, and now at an internal point, which already we have written down here, the third one, internal point I've already written it. That is minus gm by 2r cube minus gm by 2r cube multiplied by 3r square minus r square. This is what we have obtained. Now, using all these three formulae, can we show the variation of potential as we move from the center of the sphere? See how it will vary. Let me show you a graph showing its variation. Now, remember one more thing. Try to remember the formula of potential at an internal point. This is required because you know the formula is easily a student can forget. Remembering the formula for an external point or for a point on a surface is very easy. You can treat for an external point, you can treat the entire sphere to be present at its center, the entire mass to be concentrated at its center. So, using the concept, using the formula for potential due to a point mass, we can give the formula due to a solid sphere its potential at an external point. But we cannot use the same when we are talking about the internal point. You have to remember the potential due to a solid sphere at an internal point, that is minus gm by 2r cube into 3r square minus r square. Variation, how is it varying? Let's see here. Since potential is negative, so I am taking the fourth quadrant here. I'll mark the potential here. The potential is, I'm showing here the maximum magnitude, that is minus gm minus 3 by 2 gm by r. This is the maximum value of potential. Actually, its magnitude I'm talking about, it's negative, so it will be in minimum. You can think about. Now, on the surface, if I talk about what will be the potential on the surface, that will be minus gm by capital R. So, how is it varying from in the internal positions? It varies as shown here. It will vary in this way, and then we are going to vary the potential again for external point using the formula minus gm by r. Also make one change, it will be somewhat like this. You may make a curve like this. This I am talking about when x is equal to capital R. Here I have shown the variation of r when r is equal to capital R. This is the value of potential, that is minus gm by capital R, and here again it is varying with the formula minus gm by small r. So, this is the how graph will be represented, showing you the variation of potential. Now, I told you the same concept can be used to find out the potential at any point due to the earth. Earth you can treat it as a solid sphere whose mass is mass of earth and radius is the radius of the earth. Let's go ahead, let's extend this concept and try to find out the potential due to earth using the same thing. Gravitational potential due to earth, we will be using the same concept because we can treat earth as a solid sphere, and although mass of the earth is not uniformly distributed, but to give the potential we will treat that mass is uniformly distributed in case of earth. Next is gravitational potential due to earth. Gravitational potential due to earth, and then again we will extend this concept also. Earth can be treated as a solid sphere of mass m, radius re. Shown here, you can think that it's a solid sphere whose mass is mass of earth, and to show you specifically the earth, let me say its mass is me, its radius is re. Suppose at any distance, at any height h, we are interested to find out the value of potential at this point. What will be the value of potential at this point? So, the center, the distance from center of the earth will be how much? Will be re plus h, because this distance will be also equal to radius of earth. We are considering it as a uniform solid sphere. Mass is uniformly distributed and everywhere the radius is same, we are taking as radius of earth as re. So, at height h, height h, the value of potential due to the earth will come out to be, potential V is nothing but minus GME upon RE plus H. This is what we are going to get the value of potential at height h. What about at any depth you are interested to find out the value of gravitational potential at any depth? You see here, suppose you are going to find out the value of potential at any depth d, let's say. Then again what you do, let's say we are required to find out potential here at any depth d. Then can you give us, can you say that this distance will be Re minus d? Now let me call this initial point as A, so this is potential at point A, and let me talk about internal position as point B. So potential at depth D, which is point B, so at depth D, the value of potential will come out to be, let me use this portion, value of potential will be nothing, just use the formula VB is equal to minus GM by 2 RE whole cube multiplied by 3R whole square and minus of small r whole square. Here small r is actually Re minus d. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark here Re minus d whole square. This will be the value, and later on you can open it and you can solve it in a very simple term. You are going to get the value of potential, which we can also expand, and we'll be obtaining minus Gm upon 2 Re whole cube multiplied by now see here 3 Re whole square. You will, if you're going to expand, you're going to get Re whole square. 3 Re whole square minus Re whole square, you'll get 2 Re whole square. 2 Re whole square now plus d whole square, and it's minus here, so you'll be getting minus d whole square. Now you will be getting minus 2 Red, and minus here, so you'll get plus 2 Red, and then minus you are going to get d whole square. This is what the formula that we are going to get potential at an internal point. All those seems to be quite lengthy, but it's better if you remember the basic formula. You can easily derive on any day. If you remember the basic formula for potential due to a solid sphere at an internal point, you can easily get this formula, and you can substitute the values. Whatever is given in the question, you can substitute the values, you can find out the value of potential at an internal point. From here on, let us go ahead how potential energy and potential is related. I have told you. Now let's try to find out work done in a gravitational field, whereas when you're given the potential of 2 points, what will be the work done? So let's learn a new concept after learning all these basic things. Potential due to a solid sphere, and then using the same for potential due to Earth as a whole. Let's talk about what is work done between 2 points when potential of those 2 points has been given to us. Work done. The next topic, what is the work done? Work done while displacing, work done in displacing an object between 2 points. Work done in displacing an object between 2 points, and the potential of the points will be given to you between 2 points. Now see that if you are remembering the concept of potential, I told you all the potential energy, the change in potential energy is equal to work done by external force. Now see here, suppose if I have one point A and let's say its potential is given as VA. Its potential at this point is given as VA, and now let's say we have another point B and its potential is given as VB. First of all, let me make it very clear to you all, gravitational force or the whatever force we are talking about in this case, when we are talking about gravity, gravitational force, the force that is actually exerted with the application of property of its mass, that is gravitational field, gravitational force of attraction, that is a conservative force. I have given you point A's potential is VA, point B potential is VB. Now suppose an object of mass small m is actually taken along this path. Let's say an object of mass small m is actually randomly taken along any chosen path. What will be the work done by an external agent while carrying it from A to B? So work done by an external agent, work done by an external agent to displace object from A to B. Work done by external agent to move object of mass m from A to B. This will come out to be work done by external agent is equal to potential energy when it was at point B minus potential energy when it was at point A. Because I have told you, work done by an external agent is equal to change in potential energy. And next thing I have also told you, the change in potential energy is negative of work done by the internal forces. You have to remember all the simple straight lines that I am using as a concept. You have to use whenever a question comes, you have to use this basic concept. Work done by external force is equal to UB minus UA. Now what can we write UB? Mass is m. If you remember how potential and potential energy was related, can we write this as m into VB minus m into VA? This is what we are going to have. So finally we can write this as m into VB minus VA. Work done by external agent is equal to, remember, it will be always mass multiplied by the change in gravitational potential. Shall we use this concept very quickly to get some required result? Suppose you are given, example, let's say you are given a small mass whose mass is m, which is actually able to move on the axis of a uniform circular ring. And now it has been asked, if the object moves under the influence of gravitational field of attraction or gravitational force of attraction, what will be its velocity on reaching the center of the ring when it is left from a distance of 3r, where 3r is the radius of the circular ring. So find speed, we have to find out this. The scenario is in this way. This is the ring, its radius is given as r, and you have, it's given that its mass is capital M. You have been given that at a distance of 3r you are actually releasing an object of mass m, and under the gravitational force of attraction is going to be attracted along the axis of the ring. You have been asked what is the velocity or what is the speed when it reaches at the center. Find speed when it reaches at the center of the ring. As it reaches at center. Now you see, work done by this internal force will be equal to negative of change in potential energy. So let me say this point is point B and let me say this point is point A. So work done by internal force is negative of change in potential energy, that is minus of UB minus UA. This is what we are going to obtain. Now UB can be written as small m into VB minus small m into VB minus small m into V. I see how stepwise I am using the same concept. This can be written as m into Va minus Vb, m into Va minus Vb. So let me write this as work done by internal force is equal to m into, you see, m into Va minus Vb. This is what we are going to obtain, m into Va minus Vb, where A was the initial point and B is the final point. Now this work done by internal force, where it will be utilized? It will be utilized to increase its kinetic energy. Entire work done will be utilized to increase its kinetic energy. Now before that, potential of point A is minus gm by this distance, that is under root r square plus 3r whole square, and potential of B at the center, it is nothing but minus gm by r. Remember, potential due to a ring at the center of the ring is minus gm by r. Let me write down the final result here. Let us say its speed is v, so whatever the work will be done, that will be used in increasing its kinetic energy. So kinetic energy will be equal to m into Va minus Vb, or you are going to get half m V square is equal to m. Potential at Va is minus gm upon r square plus 3r whole square. This will give you under root 10r whole square, and then you are having potential at Vb, that is minus of minus gm by r. Easily you can cancel out this m, and V square will come out to be twice of, take 2 here, and this minus point will give you plus, and gm also can be taken outside. Take gm by r outside, you will be obtaining 1 minus 1 upon root of 10. This is what you are going to obtain, and then again later on you can simplify this. You will be obtaining, this will come out to be 2 gm by r. This will be root 10 minus 1 upon root 10, and the entire value of speed will be nothing but under root of this. This will be the value of speed, 2 gm by r and root 10 minus 1 upon root 10. Hope that you would have understood how to use the value of potential and potential energy, how to find out the gravitational potential due to a solid sphere. Do derive this on your own after the class also, and how you will be getting the work done by an external agent, by an internal force, how energy will be converted using the concept of all the work done will be used to increase the kinetic energy. So I believe you are getting all this, and I will be meeting you all in the next class with some more concepts. Till the time, do practice well, take good care of yourself, and thank you everyone. Bye bye.